Welcome to session 24. This one is the most practical of all, personal finance. These are the money skills that shape your everyday life: budgeting, taxes, credit, and saving. By the end, you'll be able to build a basic budget, read your paycheck, understand taxes, credit scores, and interest, and harness the power of compound interest. It all starts with a budget, a plan for splitting your take-home pay. A simple, popular framework is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% goes to needs, the essentials like rent, utilities, groceries, and transport. 30% goes to wants, dining out, entertainment, the fun stuff. And 20% goes to savings and paying down debt. A key first goal for that savings: an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, so a surprise bill doesn't push you into debt. When you get paid, you'll notice your check is smaller than your wage. That's because of payroll deductions. Your gross pay is the full amount you earn before anything is taken out. Then, deductions come out: federal and state income tax, maybe health insurance, and a retirement contribution. A big one is FICA. That's Social Security and Medicare, totaling 7.65% of your pay, and your employer matches it. What's left after all deductions is your net pay, your actual take-home pay. That's the number your budget is built on. Taxes come in two shapes worth knowing. A progressive tax charges higher earners a higher rate. The federal income tax is progressive, using brackets that run from 10% up to 37%. Here's the crucial part people misunderstand. Only the income inside each bracket is taxed at that bracket's rate, not all your income. So your effective rate, your true average, is always lower than your top marginal rate. A regressive tax is the opposite. It takes a bigger bite from lower earners. Sales tax is regressive. Everyone pays the same rate, but it's a larger share of a low-income person's budget. Credit is the ability to borrow money now and repay it later, plus interest, the cost of borrowing. It lets you buy big things like a home or car before you've saved the full amount. Lenders judge you by your credit score, the FICO score, from 300 to 850. The two biggest factors are your payment history at 35% and how much you owe at 30%. Pay on time and keep balances low. Why does it matter so much? A good score earns you lower interest rates on every loan, saving tens of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. And avoid payday loans. Their interest rates can top 400%, trapping borrowers in debt. Now, the most powerful force in personal finance: compound interest. It simply means you earn interest on your interest, and a key ingredient is time. A handy shortcut is the rule of 72. Divide 72 by your interest rate to see how many years it takes your money to double. At 7%, that's about 10 years. Watch how it snowballs. $1,000 at 7% grows to about $2,000 in 10 years, but nearly $15,000 in 40 years. That's why starting early beats investing more money later. And keep your money safe. The FDIC insures your bank deposits up to $250,000. So even if the bank fails, your savings are protected. Let's test it. Friend A invests $5,000 at 25. Friend B invests the same at 45. Both earn 7% to age 65. How do their balances compare? The answer is A. Friend A ends up with roughly 4 times as much, even though they invested the same amount. Compounding is exponential, so those extra 20 years do the heavy lifting. By the rule of 72, money doubles about every 10 years at 7%. Friend A gets 4 doublings over 40 years. Friend B only 2 over 20. Same money in, but time makes A end up roughly 4 times richer. Let's recap session 24. Budget with the 50-30-20 rule and build an emergency fund. Your gross pay minus deductions, including FICA, gives your net take-home pay. The federal income tax is progressive, while sales tax is regressive. A good credit score earns lower interest on every loan. And compound interest, especially when you start early, is the key to building long-term wealth.